It is time to leave your worries outside and maybe a few family members and laugh with us inside the Treehouse on the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday, November 27, 2024. You are welcome. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell on a very turkey edition of the Treehouse. And speaking of Thanksgiving, one of the great traditions of Thanksgiving in this country in modern times is the Clash of the Titans. It's football on Thanksgiving, which means that tomorrow at 12:30 Texas time, we will be subjected to the Detroit Lions playing the Chicago Bears. And as if that's not enough to make you throw up your sweet potatoes, then we all get to witness our Dallas Cowboys, our being me and Trey, big Cowboys fans, our Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Football Giants.
and sadly, I mean, what was always the crap game was the Detroit game, who is now the best team, probably the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. So from a records perspective, the Lions are 10-1. Let that sink in.
Wow.
The Lions are 10-1. The Bears are 4-7. So not exactly an electric divisional matchup. Chances are the Lions will beat the Bears, and no one will be surprised. The only thing surprising in that game is how the Bears have won 4 games at all. But then, not to be outdone, the afternoon delight, the Dallas Cowboys at 4-7 now versus the 2-9 New York Giants. Let me just say real quick, based on the outcome of Sunday's game, Cowboys and Commanders, if I was a headline writer, it would have been Cowboys get out-awfuled by Commanders 34-26. Because that was, while it was an entertaining fourth quarter, that is a really bad football game.
My headline would have been Cowboys F up losing.
That would have been a good one as well.
Because what a pointless win at this point. I mean,
yeah, it really is. It needs to be the goal of every true Cowboys fan is just to have such a bad season. All you do is improve your draft position by losing as many games as possible. Well, they screwed that up on Sunday and they beat the Commanders. But because of that, it had me wondering, what are the ticket prices like at AT&T Stadium in Arlington for Cowboys Giants? Because, Trey, you mentioned to us off the air that the ticket prices were really low for that game. And I don't know if the ticket prices went up at all because the Cowboys actually won on Sunday.
They have gone up a bit, but the ask has gone up a bit. There's still now, because the Thanksgiving game was always the Red Kettle game, Salvation Army, big halftime performance, huge seller. Like what probably their, besides opening game, probably the biggest selling game for the Cowboys.
Yeah. So what are tickets for the Thanksgiving game, Cowboys versus Giants, going for?
Well, you can get upper deck for $57.
An upper deck seat or an upper decker from the Jones family?
Upper deck seat for as low as, in the 50s. You can do the standing, the corral, which usually I think are $80 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They're 21.
Oh, is that the same as the party pass?
I think so. I don't know.
Or is the corral like the outside thing, and party pass they let you inside, but they don't let you sit down?
I honestly don't. It just says standing ticket for.
Okay.
Some of the lower level, like prime seats, are going in the mid 100s. Now, like I said, and it's one, if you look at, like I was looking at a ticket seating app, and they have like one color if there's tickets available, another color. Every section in the stadium, there are tickets available.
So good news.
Yeah. So I have a feeling day of there are going to be some bargains to be had.
Oh, get some good walk-up seats.
Mm-hmm. Or it's going to be very embarrassing.
So what you do then is here's what you do. When you take the wrapping off of your turkey, save it. Save that, and then you can wear it and cut some eye holes to the game if you decide to go. So while the ticket prices are drastically lower for the Thanksgiving Day game compared to what normal ticket prices are when the Cowboys are winning, you still got to pay to park, right? Are those going for any sort of a bargain, or is that where they're making up the difference?
I did not look at parking.
I imagine there's still, you know what? I bet they're still going to find a way to you on the parking. That is the Cowboys way.
I mean, I think the FU on parking is just permanently built in. But I'm going to guess some of these tickets do come with parking. I don't know.
What do you think is cheaper? Tickets for the Cowboys Giants game at the stadium or stuffing your mom? I mean your mom's stuffing. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to let the first question stand. I think that's fair still.
It's literally
toss up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it is comical looking at the seating chart. Like, without exaggerating, there are tickets available in every section of that stadium.
That's not typically the case.
No.
Even if it's the visiting team's fans buying out seats, they're almost always sold out, or at least close to it.
50 on a normal.
Clear your throat, big guy.
On a normal.
I hear there's a respiratory illness going around, but I appreciate you and Jerry fighting through it.
What would 50-yard line seats when the Cowboys are doing well? What would you think they'd go for?
I'll say, don't want to blow your bit, 50-yard line, AT&T Stadium, and the Cowboys are doing well. I'll go 450.
Huh?
I don't know. I've never paid to watch a game at that stadium. I always got in for free with my media badge.
50-yard line seats normally are 1,000 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not paying that for a football game.
and they're sub 400.
They're sub 400 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they normally go for well over 1,000.
Yeah. You know that those little dugouts like they have now at the stadium, like where you're like literally
you're actually below the field, but you look up at it. Yeah.
Those are usually the hottest ticket there. Like those like they're like suites, and they sell for
they're like suites, and they're really pretty on the inside when you walk back underneath the stadium. I know, because I remember watching a game. I watched I think they still call it the Southwest Classic. I remember watching a football game there with Greg Hill from Texas A&M fame. Mm-hmm. It was the A&M Arkansas football game. And you're right, those seats, they are hot seats, but to me they're hot just because your eyes are at the level of players' butts, which means if they fart, you're right, Trey, it's pretty hot. So if you want to smell what the players were eating for Thanksgiving, go get those seats.
Yeah, those are typically very, very expensive. They're like a suite. I can't imagine. I have never been in them, but there's nothing about that seating level that looks appealing, because your line of sight is crap.
It's ass.
Yeah.
You're gonna see ass. You're gonna smell ass. So those are the ass seats at the stadium. Keep that in mind when you're perusing the tickets at AT&T Stadium. And I also think that's probably like, was that when they were designing the stadium, whoever built it, designed it, did they say, and they were going to have these seats that are kind of low, so in case you have people that all they want to do is stare at butts, these are the seats for them.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think also with those seats, you also get, I think they come with regular seats too. And I think you can rotate people down there or whatever. But, but people love them. It's a big deal.
You get the sights, the sounds, and of course the smells of AT&T
Yeah.
Stadium. So happy Thanksgiving if you're going to the game.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to get you in a new car, but let's not do it the old-fashioned way. No, let's do it the Treehouse way with Fairlease. Look, you and I know that saving money is important, and Fairlease knows this as well. And that's why when you lease from Fairlease, you can actually pay less compared to buying. You can also customize your lease with things like flexible terms, flexible mileage, and Fairlease will take your trade-in, and they can even work with you and any negative equity you might have. And Fairlease can also save you precious time. Go to fairlease.org. Tell them what you want, what you need, and they bring that vehicle to you. Pretty amazing, right? And then you can just sign all the paperwork remotely. No more wasting hours or days at a car dealership wondering what fun all the other people in the world are having because they called Fairlease. Be one of the fun Fairlease people. Go to fairlease.org today and search for your new vehicle. Go to fairlease.org. That's fairlease.org. The Treehouse is driven by Fairlease.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That previous segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Fairlease. To save time and money on your next new vehicle, go to Fairlease, fairlease.org. That is fairlease.org, and lease your new vehicle the no-hassle way from Fairlease at fairlease.org. Back inside the Treehouse now, I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell. Raj Sharma out sick this week. And there's a lot of sickness going around because parents are spellbound by Netflix. And I mean that in a bad way. There's a new movie out on Netflix called Spellbound. It's the new animated film. It's immediately claimed a place at the top of the Netflix streamers global movie chart. But it's taken a big hit in its review scores after sparking controversy over its depictions of divorce. So this is an animated movie on Netflix. It's called Spellbound, and some parents on Rotten Tomatoes are displeased with its depictions of divorce. The family movie has become the subject of many complaints from angry parents who are not happy with the film's message that divorce is okay. While the movie's been praised for its vibrant animation and star-studded voice cast, which includes Rachel Ziegler, Javier Bardem, Nicole Kidman, John Lithgow, a significant number of reviews on Rotten Tomatoes have slammed the movie for having what they believe are inappropriate themes for children to be subjected to at a young age. Unlike the children subjected to divorce at a young age, these parents just don't like their kids seeing it in a cartoon. Spellbound tells the story of Elian, or I don't know, a young princess voiced by Rachel Ziegler, who embarks on a magical adventure to save her kingdom of Lumbria. After her parents are transformed into monsters by a mysterious spell, Elian must uncover the truth behind the curse while handling her own personal growth as these movies demand. With music by acclaimed composer Alan Menken and lyricist Glenn Slater, Spellbound promised to be a callback to several Disney movies of the past. However, there are several reviewers who have slammed the movie for normalizing the subject of divorce, which they believe is not something that should be promoted as being all right for young children. One review by Kelly G said, what looks like a cute animated movie about a young girl trying to save her parents who've been turned into monsters is just a moronic ploy to help normalize divorce to children. Don't normalize divorce. It is not normal. Another urged parents to watch the movie first before allowing their children to see it by saying, I strongly not recommend watching this movie with kids. Seriously, all caps. As a parent, watch the movie first before showing it to your child and decide if your child should hear about divorces at their age from a movie for children, or Prepare yourself for questions like, Mommy, Daddy, will you leave Mother too? This movie normalizes divorce. Divorce is already normal to kids. I think it's time the animated films catch up. I don't think it's necessarily bad that they divorce, that a cartoon depicts things that happen in real life. I do find it unfortunate that parents are mad that a cartoon is making them talk to their children about things that they don't want to talk to them about.
Or that aren't a lot of animated stuff, fairy tales, everything based on like the kid being an orphan.
Yeah. So, I mean, this starts out happier than the majority of Disney movies have started out in its history. At least this way, both parents are alive.
Exactly.
Bambi started out, mom dead. That was the formula for years. It was like, okay, how did Disney movie start? Well, you got to kill a parent, and then they go on the hero's journey, and then something happens with another parent. Lion King, dad dies, and he's got to go save mom. And it's all of them.
Peter Pan.
What happened to poor Dumbo?
Oh my God, poor Jesus Christ, Dumbo. Ugh. I think people need to take, I'm sorry, but I got to say it. Some of these parents got to take a chill pill.
Well, and I believe the divorce rate is still like 51%. So it is, in fact, normal.
It is normal. But the thing is, these angry Rotten Tomatoes reviewers don't like having to talk to their children about difficult subjects unless they have to do it in real life. It just makes me so mad. I can't stand it when people do this. Like, they shouldn't learn about this. It's normalizing divorce. They shouldn't be hearing about this, blah, 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 blah. When we just brought it up, that other animated films are killing off parents left and right. At least they're alive to start this film. I don't know how it ends, but, it at least starts with at least a little bit of hope.
I mean, are you passionate about this? Because you're like, at least they had parents.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. Coming from someone that didn't have parents for the first 3 months of his life, I think these people should shut up. Be happy this kid has parents at all. I mean, if this was a Disney movie about my childhood, it'd have been really, really sad. In fact, it still kind of is. I just hate it when some parents get all up in arms because they're forced to have difficult conversations with their kids. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to have difficult conversations with your kids if you stop letting them watch TV all by themselves while you go do whatever else. Stop planting your kid in front of a TV and letting the TV raise your children. Especially if you're going to be that pissed off about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my mind, of all the things kids face today, I mean, and the fact that they have access to the internet and way too much information generally for their age, divorce is on the lighter side of things.
It really is. I mean, what happened? I mean, imagine if this movie started out like it's still called Spellbound, but it started out with her finding dad's hidden tab on his computer. And maybe that's the reason for the divorce. And then you know why those Rotten Tomatoes parents would be so mad? Because now the kids know how to find their secret hidden tabs.
Yeah.
That would be some serious review bombing. Plus, also imagine how awkward it's going to be if they find out that dad's secretly into all that family stuff. The step siblings. Never mind. You know what I mean.
No, I thought you were going to go with pegging.
You're in the Treehouse.
All right. I don't think any of us are ready for animated pegging.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can get even more Treehouse. You can subscribe. You can subscribe to the Treehouse on Patreon. Patreon. Patreon.com/Treehouse on Air. 3 levels of more Treehouse. to satiate you. Treehouse Plus, Treehouse Super Plus, and Ultimate Treehouse, where you get all the stupid inside the Treehouse. Go to patreon.com/Treehouse on air. Back inside regular Treehouse programming, Dan, along with Trey and Jerry, just in time for Thanksgiving, just in time for turkey as the bird gets pulled out of the oven. How to survive a nuclear attack, according to FEMA. FEMA's timing couldn't be better. And I mean that sincerely, because as the specter of World War III looms with tensions rising, FEMA has stepped in with a guide to surviving a nuclear attack. It's actually kind of updated from the just basically stick your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye type stuff from the 60s. No, this actually signals the grim possibility as the war in Ukraine intensifies, Middle Eastern conflicts heat up. FEMA's instructions echo the bygone Cold War era, offering a modernized set of protocols for Americans to safeguard their families against the destructive power of a nuclear explosion. It's underscored by a newly released map indicating which regions would be safest in the event of an escalation by Putin, alongside another mapping out the devastating effects on the United Kingdom should nuclear missiles be launched. FEMA's stark advice is outlined in their latest release. Nuclear explosions can cause significant damage and casualties from blast, heat, and radiation, but you can keep your family safe by knowing what to do and being prepared if it occurs. And then, of course, they present it as fundamental survival resource. FEMA further explained that nuclear weapons could range vastly in size, from small portable devices to missiles, emphasizing the unpredictability of such attacks. The peril of nuclear explosions is not just the initial bright flash blindness or the ensuing blast wave. Oh, no. Which can wreak havoc on people and structures miles away. But post-explosion, radiation threatens cellular injury and sickness, while the thermal energy promises widespread burns and property destruction. So I'm sure you're curious, what does FEMA suggest if you're about to be blown up by a nuclear warhead? First off, prepare. Identify shelter locations. While you commute, identify appropriate shelters to seek in the event of a detonation. Outdoor areas, vehicles, and mobile homes do not provide adequate shelter. They want you to go inside. Okay. Some of the places they recommend inside would be the nearest building. That's to avoid radiation. Brick or concrete are best. Remove any contaminated clothing and wipe or wash unprotected skin if you're outside after the fallout arrived. Go to the basement or middle of the building and stay away from the outer walls and roof. Then stay inside for 24 hours unless local authorities provide other instructions. So this is all assuming you've survived the initial blast and the blindness and the fire and, you know, the Judgment Day incineration type stuff. Go inside. Sorry.
Have a bath.
Yeah, go inside, draw a bath, maybe throw some less radiating bubbles.
Yeah, even
Maybe
though the
some
water will
Epsom
be
salt.
contaminated. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
As soon as you get into the tub, your skin falls off.
yeah.
Oh man. But FEMA's giving you hope, man. If it happens, they're giving you hope and giving you more tips to follow.
And do they address EMPs?
They do a little bit. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's see. Where is the EMP section? Oh, come on. I just saw it. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. Get inside. Do this. Do that. Oh, yeah. An additional threat is an electromagnetic pulse capable of crippling electronics far beyond the blast's heart. So that's really all they really say about the EMP.
Yeah. I mean, this is, yes, the obviously the detonation bad, hurt a lot of people, but I mean, we're a society that when the signal lights go out, everything falls apart. Now imagine with an EMP going off and everyone's electronics are bad.
It's apocalyptic.
Mhm.
It really is. Everyone's going to turn into Mad Max, but instead of us looking for gasoline, we're all going to be looking for a Wi-Fi signal. just sad.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
But I bet the Cowboy seat prices will be a hell of a lot cheaper.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can also give us a like and a subscribe and all those other fun buzzwords. Check us out on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@treehouseonair, or just go to YouTube and search for the Treehouse podcast right there. We got the channel. Subscribe. We appreciate it. Got a few different things. We got the show in audio form that is there as well, in case you're looking for a new platform to stream the show. Or you can also watch Treehouse TV. Lots of fun stuff there on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@treehouseonair, or just go to YouTube and search the Treehouse podcast. We are back inside the Treehouse now, the day before Thanksgiving. And there's a lot of travel that's going to happen today, and more traveling is going to happen throughout the weekend. It is one of the busiest travel times of the year. And perhaps you're going to be traveling via air. Maybe you're taking American Airlines somewhere. Well, American Airlines is making waves lately, in a good way, not because they fell into the ocean. Good waves, actually. Number one, we first told you about gate lice a while back. Gate lice is the term that's been given to the people that try to board a flight before it's their turn. So like if you're on an American flight and you're, say, group 4, you're going to board group 4. But there's other people that are group 7. Well, what happens is the gate lice, or what sometimes I refer to as those in front of me, will cut the line and get into your group 4 seating, even though their boarding's not till group 7. They are known as gate lice. And American Airlines rolled out a pilot program, pun intended, to curb gate lice. Figuratively, not literally, although I'd love to see them curb some line cutters. I think it'd be awesome. Just stomp on the back of their head, run on the curb. Anyway, I'm a little violent today. I'm getting it all out before breaking bread with family and stuff. So they rolled out this program where an alert would happen at the gate if you were trying to board at the wrong time and cut the line. And then the gate agent would politely ask you to step out of line. You're trying to be gate lice. The program has done well so far, so well that they decided to expand it from the 3 airports that they were testing it in to over 100 airports around the country. So that's a win for all of us that paid attention in kindergarten and learned to take turns and how not to cut in line, which a lot of us have just eschewed in adulthood. The other thing is this. If you're one of those crazy people that tries to open up a door or a hatch during a flight, passengers on American Airlines, well, they're not around. They're not going to let you do it. Because on a recent flight to Dallas on American Airlines, a group of passengers had to hold down and duct tape a guy who was trying to open the door of the plane mid-flight. This is one of the passengers talking about restraining this dude.
Was no time. He was 2 feet from the door. It was just chaos. He was going for the door. And so I just grabbed the guy from behind and kept him from pulling the thing on the door. You know, we were on our knees holding him down.
Remember the movie Airplane?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when everybody on the plane was lined up to just slap the ever-loving out of that one passenger?
Mm-hmm.
If I was one of the passengers on this flight, restraining the man trying to open up the emergency hatch, that's what it would look like. I would hold him down, or in this case, if they have some duct tape on board, which seems to be standard now, duct tape his ass to the chair, and then everyone on board gets to line up and take a shot. I think that seems fair. I think that sounds like fun. It's some good old-fashioned in-flight entertainment that even Spirit Airlines couldn't charge for. Although if they wanted to get a bankruptcy, that would be one angle.
I just can't. You're right. Hey, it does seem like every flight you hear about now does have duct tape, which is
They all used to have peanuts, but because of some, I don't know, soul's peanut allergy. We can't have peanuts on planes anymore. But apparently duct tape is a thing. I guess that's part of the security protocol on board, is just to make sure you've always got a roll of duct tape next to the life preservers in the unlikely event of a water landing.
Things falling off the airplane.
Yeah, but yeah.
Duct
So
tape on there.
Yeah. And yeah, just imagine one of the flight attendants crawling out onto the wing mid-flight and just duct taping it. But yeah, you're right. Like duct tape seems to be a standard thing on flights now.
Is that did we replace air marshals with duct tape?
Probably. We just didn't tell anybody, which was smart. Oh, it is. I bet it had to be pretty hard on cut down day, like when the layoffs hit, and they got to tell a bunch of the federal air marshals, all right, look, we're having to do some cutbacks. So we're going to have to lay you off. And instead of having you on flights, we're just going to replace you with duct tape. That's got to sting. Not as bad if you're one of the passengers who's duct taped to a chair and the line of other passengers are ready to take their shots.
I feel like in this day and age, you really have had to have lost your ever-loving mind to do anything on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's almost like it needs to be an automatic, like 5150 psychological hold. If you do anything to interrupt a flight, despite the myriad instructions that you are given, if you in any way molest this flight, plane, or people on board, not only are you going to get duct taped to your seat and then over and over and over again by everybody on board, you're also going straight to the loony bin afterwards. Mm-hmm. I'd also be okay with having an emergency hatch that they can just strap a parachute to your ass and just drop you wherever you are.
Well, screw the parachute. Just...
Drinks for everybody. Because we're all accomplices now.
Unless it's spirit.
Yeah, they're going to charge extra for that.
Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Be sure to, like you said, check out all things Treehouse at treehouseonair.com. And while you're there, look on the lower right-hand side of the website. You can see a little microphone. You can click on that and talk back to us right here inside the Treehouse. Treehouse Talkback is available at treehouseonair.com. Just click on that little microphone, leave us a message, and we'll get it here in the Treehouse. By the way, Jerry, we're getting messages now from Treehouse listeners. We'll send you the files.
Getting messages for what?
For people, if they want to interact with the show, there's a little function at treehouseonair.com. They click on the microphone and leave a voicemail, basically is what it is. And it gets sent to us here inside the Treehouse.
Sweet.
Yeah, not too shabby. Also, you are a lead producer of the Treehouse Talkback function. Congratulations. Yay, Jerry. Yay, you got a promotion. Meanwhile, back inside the regular portion of the Treehouse, Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Jerry Caldwell, who just learned about his new business function on the show. Very excited. Lots to be thankful for.
Well, I wonder if it's still, and this will give you flashbacks as former call screener. But I mean, if you say something like, Ford sucks.
Oh, gird your loins. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah. That's also how Jerry romances women. It's his opening line. All right, let's jump into this. It is Wednesday, November 27, 2024. So let's celebrate with some birthdays. Today, Layla on Nashville, the actress, is Aubrey Peoples. She is 31 today. Allison Pill turns 39. She's from American Horror Story Cult, and she's also on HBO's The Newsroom as Maggie Jordan. Jaleel White, best known as Steve Urkel on Family Matters, is 48 today, and yes, he did do that. Twista, is 51. Elizabeth Marvel, who plays President Keen on Homeland, and she was also presidential candidate Heather Dunbar on House of Cards. She is 55 today. Michael Vartan from Alias is 56 today, and I think he's also on the show. I'm not even sure if it's still on TV. I think it's The Mentalist. I think that's him. He's 56 today. Mike Tyson's ex-wife, Robin Givens, is 60. Of all the people that have given thoughts and opinions on the Tyson-Paul fight, I haven't heard anything from Robin Givens on that.
You haven't heard anything from Robin Givens in 20 years, it seems like.
I believe. Probably the last time she was on the witness stand against Mike. Actor Fisher Stevens is 61. He is Marvin Gerard on The Blacklist, and we know him best as Ben, Steve Gutenberg's scientist buddy, Ben, in the Short Circuit movies. Yeah, keep in mind, the Indian guy in the Short Circuit movies is portrayed by a white guy named Fisher Stevens. Keep that in mind. Also, celebrating a birthday today, from Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, Steve Odekirk is 63. He's also a screenwriter who has written or contributed to the scripts for Ace Ventura 2, all the Nutty Professor movies, Patch Adams, Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, and he also directed Ace Ventura 2. So he's kind of a Hollywood powerhouse.
A lot of sequels in there.
A lot of sequels in there, but some really, really good. Like Patch Adams, it's a phenomenal movie.
Yes.
And Ace Ventura 2, look, I love the original. I love the original. Ace Ventura is awesome. But I got to be honest. I think the hardest I have laughed in the Ace Ventura movies was in Ace Ventura 2 when Jim Carrey crawls out of that rhino butt. Gets me every single time. Honestly, I'm smiling just thinking about it right now. Other birthdays today. Speaking of powerhouses, Bill Nye the Science Guy is 69 today. And one other very notable birthday inside the Treehouse. He's a phenomenal character actor, memorable in everything that he does. Curtis Armstrong is 71. He is Booger in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
Phenomenal. He's the one that uttered the famous phrase, also kind of a salty, "We've got Bush."
He's aged like a booger too.
You're right. It's pretty sad when you start to look like your most famous character.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Don't forget to give us a follow on social media. It's at Treehouse on Air. That's at Treehouse on Air across all social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow. That would be fun. But most importantly, the best thing you can do as a listener of this fine program is share the show with a friend. So if you're, whatever platform you're listening on, just get a little drop down thing and hit share, and we would appreciate it. Back inside the Treehouse now, the day before Thanksgiving. Dan and Trey and Jerry Caldwell with you. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, a great Turkey Day. I want you to keep something in mind as you're around the table, hopefully with people you enjoy, and you need some interesting table conversation. Here's one for you. Put your fork down. Actually, you know what? Keep your fork up. Just kind of hold it up. I'm going to do it with a pen right now, but just kind of hold it up. Maybe you have like a little piece of turkey on the end of it, and it's kind of like you start to eat it and you take it out of your mouth and you hold it up. It's kind of half gnawed on. And you ask everybody at the table, hey, did you hear that science may have just discovered ghosts? And then just put the fork back in your mouth and eat the piece of turkey and just go back to eating and just see what sort of a conversation that spurns. Because it's happened. It has absolutely happened. All the fears, okay, maybe not all the fears, but all the tinkering and meddling that physicists have been doing at CERN in Switzerland.
Of course.
The big, I don't even know what the hell it is, but
The particle collider.
Particle collider. There you go. The particle collider that everyone was worried about years ago when they turned it on would actually form a black hole and eat our solar system in an instant. Well, that didn't happen. So the worst of your concerns or the worst of our imaginations has not come true. But something else terrifying has been discovered at CERN in Switzerland. Are you ready? Here we go. According to scientists at CERN, a mysterious entity was detected inside their particle collider. Physicists claim they have captured and calculated the characteristics of a ghost-like structure, an invisible entity that can alter the paths of particles. Another way to look at it, or another way to say it, is scientists at CERN have revealed the discovery of a 4D phantom in their super proton synchrotron. So science has discovered ghosts. Or more specifically, science was playing around. All these physicists in Switzerland were playing around, drinking some spiked hot chocolate at the CERN super collider. And what did they find? A goddamn phantom.
Or they've opened up a fourth dimension to hell.
And here I was thinking I was the glass half full guy.
And I'm sorry though, Dan, but if you're at a large Thanksgiving gathering, at the table, whole lot of people, the appropriate subject will go, take your, I agree with you, have your fork, a little piece of turkey on it. Go. So who'd you vote for? Take a bite and walk away.
Yeah, that I believe that just about do it. Yeah, I think you can chew on that fork and a little piece of meat and then just drop that bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then watch it from the street.
Right.
Drop the fork on the table. Trenholm out.
The fork drop.
Yep.
That is a Thanksgiving move to behold.
If I had a big family, man.
I have one, and I know who they all voted for.
Well, you have fun with that, Jerry. From all of us inside the Treehouse to you, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, no matter what the table conversation might be. And if you feel like it, tell a few of those family members about us and how you too could have a fork drop moment at your house. Have a great Thanksgiving. Lots to be thankful for. And if you don't have lots to be thankful for, then at least be thankful that you're alive to complain about it. We'll see you next time right here inside the Treehouse.